Oh, snap sync. We didn't do this last time. We
Oh
had
yeah.
snap sync.
Okay,
yeah.
So, Alex, do you have seconds on your clock?
What? No. What clock?
Of course he doesn't. No one else
like
does
on your
except us
computer.
three.
Oh, I do have seconds on my computer clock. Yes,
Oh,
I
easy.
do.
Okay, great. So we're gonna snap at let's say 50 because it just gives us a second. So 1:02:50 seconds. We're gonna snap.
1:02:50. Okay, I'm looking at. Fuck! I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Did you?
okay.
You got it?
Beautiful.
I got it. I got it.
Easy.
Mother.
Okay. You got
Okay.
it. You got
Cool.
it.
If you want, I
promise?
mean, actually, I don't promise because I don't want you edit
Let's
it.
do
I
it
don't want
again.
you edit
Why don't we
it.
do it
Fine,
again?
fine.
Let's do it one more
Fine.
time.
It's
At 10
okay. I
seconds.
guess I'm not good
Yeah.
enough.
At 10. At 10. Or okay, at 15. At 15.
15.
At 15.
15.
There you
15.
go.
1:03:15.
13, 14. Okay.
So good.
Okay, Keelan, give us a rundown.
Well,
I
you're
feel like
just
you
gonna
have.
have to deal
I
with
feel like
that.
you have better plans than all of us. do.
Yeah, I have no. I don't know what to.
I don't. To be honest, 90% of the time we don't know what we're doing. when we
Okay.
start
It's
this.
free form,
We just kind of.
man.
It is very
It's
freeform.
art.
We just kind of chat.
Pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like taking 1 hour of our time and putting it on the
Kill
internet.
yourself.
For
And there's the intro, guys.
there's
there
the
you go.
intro.
Cool.
Beautiful.
This episode's
Okay.
going to be called Alex Kills Himself. Done. Nah, it's too
Okay.
graphic.
No,
too
because
graphic.
yeah, little
We need
kids
something
won't
that'll
like
yeah,
that.
exactly. Kids need to be able to watch this. Elmo kills himself.
Kids will
Well,
not
I
be
don't think
able
that
to
was-
watch this.
I would.
If you think
That's,
kids can listen
that
to this
sounds,
podcast, you are sorely mistaken.
That sounds like something I would watch. Elmo killing himself. That would be like fucking prime television. As a kid, I would eat.
That's
that
like a
shit
Reddit
up.
50-50 video.
That is the right.
I was about to say Elmo relieves himself.
There's your title. There's your title.
Perfect.
Elmo relieves himself.
I feel like
Tag this one explicit.
I
Will.
feel like children's
No.
television should feature more realistic themes, such as suicide and depression. Like I think,
kids need to know.
I think
Kids need to know that it's a part of our culture.
I feel like in SpongeBob there would be a very interesting plot if like Squidward like killed himself and never came back, and everyone would have to
The effect it has on the
everyone
town.
would have to cope, and SpongeBob would be like, oh no, I don't know, Squidward fucking killed himself, and then I guess SpongeBob would quit being a little douche. He would get a real job. Not in a
Go to rehab.
not in a fast food joint,
Go to
and
rehab.
he would
That would be
and
the first thing.
it would have a positive impact on our children, which is
Alex, where do you work?
it would have a positive effect on our children.
You know, now
I'm
now
a
I gotta know.
filmmaker, Keelan Ellis.
I work for Hollywood.
I work for Hollywood.
Yes.
You ever talk to people who like talk shit like that, and then you ask them what they do, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I work at Starbucks." Like
Yeah.
people who like
Yeah,
much.
you.
Yeah.
like actually though, like
People like
other
us.
other than me, there I guess maybe
There's some people at film school like
should
that.
I
You're a rare
yeah.
breed.
I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk shit on something that's supposed to be super public.
We can talk shit, but let's not name names.
Well, I don't. Well, people.
Good decision.
There's not that many fucking people though. They'll probably figure it out. Like, man, I don't like a guy who talks this way.
There's this girl and she makes jokes and she's Italian. Fuck Laura.
Scott.
What? No.
Nah.
No.
You know, like it doesn't work that way.
So we
This
were
is
making
great
an
radio.
inside joke about our friend Lauren, but that's
Yeah.
it. Now we're done.
Lauren, who
I don't
called
go to
every
film
one of my
school,
letterbox
so-
reviews cringe.
exactly.
I know.
No,
I
Lauren.
know equivalents of those people. but
Lauren's
I don't
awesome.
know.
Lauren's fucking hilarious, dude. Lauren is actually
Yeah.
like one of the funniest people I've ever met. And she doesn't. And
She sounds
and
like
she
it.
does. She doesn't. I mean, like I tell her, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I blah 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 blah," and then quickly loses confidence as soon as I praise her.
Yeah.
But then, like, as soon as she forgets
Bah,
that,
bah, bah, bah,
as soon as
bah.
she forgets that she's like good shit, then she starts being funny again. It's like, it's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Thought
It
you
took
weren't
me a
gonna
while
name
to like
names.
figure that she was actually being funny. For a while, I was just confused.
No, she.
This is
But
just
then
a
I was
deep
like, oh,
psychoanalysis of your friend Lauren.
Yeah.
She always made me laugh. She apparently, I think, when she first saw me, she thought I was a bit of a douche or something, and she like likes to troll people like that. But then I just laughed at her. I didn't like get uncomfortable. So then she was like, oh, I guess I should make more jokes. And that's
There you
that
go.
and there and the
I just pointed at her and I laughed at her.
no, she says like I laugh very easily. Like she would say something like ooh, my fucking I farted on my brother's face, and I was like funny, you know. And and then we became friends.
Brilliantly said, Alex.
That's beautiful.
Let's do an intro.
Let's start.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, dear.
Welcome back to our podcast. This podcast should be played loud. I'm Will, and I'm saying the intro today. And with me, as always, are my two co-hosts, and also, what's going on? Alert! There's an extra person in the building.
That was a beautiful.
Woo! We'll get to that.
I'm
What are your
Keelan.
names?
I'm Ben. Keelan, would you like to introduce our special guest today?
Alex F.
Hello.
Woo, give it up for Alex F. Soundboard. Woo!
Hello.
Clapping.
My name is Alex F.
Tell us a bit about yourself, Alex F.
My name is Alex F, and I am a fucking piece of shit.
Cool.
Wow.
It's a good intro. It's a
Great
good intro.
intro.
And accurate. I know him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I've done many wonderful things, such as harass people in public for my own enjoyment, or
That's dark.
drunkenly Twitter rant
That one's he
about
does that a lot.
various things that bother me throughout the day, or
Nice.
I like calling people, like when people I know make things, I like making fun of it, and I like calling it terrible when it is. You know, it's a great pastime of mine. You know.
Should we segue?
It's unfortunate for you
Speaking
that-
of,
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get
Alex,
there.
you said you wanted to get to know the rest of the podcast, and you told me this a while back when we were doing our first couple episodes that you wanted to learn more about the people on the podcast. So why don't you explain to us what you're talking about there?
oh
Alex?
well, let's talk about Nathan Daniel Phillips, who I guess has a
Hey.
name.
Wow.
Ben. Okay, Ben. Ben.
Wow.
Well, I'm just interested because here's the thing. I watched Keelan's movie Nathan Daniel Phillips Returns, and I guess there's a first one.
You say that with such contempt.
And the first one, but no one likes the first one as much as the second one. So the second one
Fair,
was
okay.
really fun. It was a fun, dumb student movie. It was very cute. And what brought it all together, what glued it all together, what was the sticky residue that put all the pieces together and made it into a wonderful treat, was Nathan Daniel Phillips himself, Nathan Daniel Phillips, and I enjoyed his asinine reactions to the various kooky characters. So I guess I was just interested in the man, the myth, the legend. And then we just have Will, who, I mean, I guess Keelan and Will have a bit of a special relationship, so I'm always hearing about Mr. Will.
You could call it that.
Special relationship.
And
They've secretly been married for 10 years.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. There's really nothing to it, Keelan. I want to that, like, what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, oh,
I don't know. You were the one who brought it
mutual
up before.
friends that I want to get to know, and that's a big deal. Like, you know, it's that's my getup. I enjoy these two white boys.
Two? There's
And one
literally
olive
three
boy.
of us. Which one?
Well,
do
I
you
mean,
not like?
I've already enjoyed Keelan, though. That's the thing.
I see. I
And
see.
I
don't
enjoy
like the way you
I
consumed
enjoy
milk
myself.
Keelan for all his
I
work.
enjoy
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
enjoy
just one of us
myself.
just leave
Spit
it out of
out.
the conversation.
I enjoy myself on a regular basis. You know, it's two new people.
I enjoy myself sometimes.
Okay.
So you want to
Oh,
find new people to drain the energies from.
The life force.
that is
Okay.
that is my that's my
That's your thing. The three of us, not Alex, made a movie 2 years ago or 3 years ago called
No.
Conference Call that Alex has some thoughts about. Would you like to settle some opinions?
I think we
here
have some.
on
I
the-
think we have some differences to settle today, Alex.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I understand there is some what's it called? Beef.
Inherently, yes.
There's some pork.
Well, I will say, Conference Call is an interesting movie, right? And the reason why it's interesting is because it sucks major dick, but it's there's very like small parts of it that like I can be like that are kind of like it's like a gold nugget in a turd, right? And
Exactly, like
and,
my
Nice.
performance.
and
Yeah, I agree. Will is the best actor
I'm
in
getting
Conference
to
Call.
that. And the reason why the reason why I actually appreciate
gets
the
it.
film so much is because I do think Keelan's a very good director, and I can
Oh,
sort of
thank
and
you.
I can sort of I've seen like an evolution with sort of like his like amateur works, and I like kind of seeing. It's not like the first thing, but I think it's the first time when he kind of like got serious, right? Is that true? Like, is Conference Call the first time that you weren't just doing it for fun? Well, I mean, you were doing it for fun, but like it was more like.
The first time was Artemis Crouch's detective.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I feel like Conference Call. It's like the first one available on YouTube, right? Oh no, there's
I guess so.
Conference
or
Call was-
not. No, that's
Conference
It's like
Call was a big leap.
omnipresent and stuff.
It was a big leap
know
for
what
you
you
in terms
mean.
of professionality.
Yeah,
we
that-
took that
yeah.
thing pretty seriously.
yeah. That's sorry.
It's
That's
long.
exactly what. That's
It was
exactly.
a
what
and it
whole
was
thing.
long. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's
It was concentrated, and
exactly.
It was like while we were making it, we weren't just like shooting it on the side.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I sort of enjoy it in the angle that I get to sort of see some sort of development between like not only Keelan, but I see you guys associated with his works constantly. So I like seeing that progression. And like I said, there are gold nuggets in the shit sandwich. So there are parts of the film that are really I won't say good, but things you can appreciate, you know? There's a lot of I think I mentioned to Keelan there were a few times where sort of the cinematography was actually so good that I kind of forgot that I was watching Conference Call, and that was
Hey, that's a win.
and that and that was really great, and I enjoyed that. And I also like, how old were you guys when this thing came out?
It's like
15?
13.
No.
15.
17?
That's
I
a
was
big fucking
19.
range,
It
guys.
came out in grade
Grade
11. So I was
Grade 11.
I was 16. I was 16.
It
I
was
was
2
okay,
years
16.
ago.
Okay, I'm
3 years
I'm
ago.
just saying that like any sort of like hour-long video or film, you know, made by
Conference
Digital
Call is a
file.
video.
by 16-year-olds is at least a feat, you know. It shows some sort of dedication and hard work and determination and real love for the craft. So I enjoy watching it. That's what I really like about Conference Call. It kind of proves to me that you're not some like, you know, dipshit. Yeah, or you guys aren't some dipshits. You guys actually sort of enjoy this field and have some genuine passion for it. But as for the things I don't appreciate,
Here we go.
there are quite a few things I don't like about Conference Call.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Just give it to me. Say it bluntly. It's okay.
Well,
It's okay.
yeah, no.
Say it the way you told me innumerable
Just-
times.
Well,
I want to hear it.
what was it?
I want to hear it from your. I want to hear it from you first.
Was it your performance, Ben, that I called unwatchable?
Yeah, it was. I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know what? I agree with you.
You know what? Yeah, actually, okay. I will say I think all of the acting, except for Kia, all of the acting is like, how do I put it? In a way
Just say it.
I'm trying to find a way that's like. I got it. It's like it's some of the most like uncomfortable, cringeworthy things I've ever seen in my life. They're just everyone sucks.
Yeah.
And very clearly, it's like it's very amateur, so people don't know what. I don't know. It was when I was watching it, I was watching a bunch of kids fumbling around. You know, it actually made me it made it slightly more bearable because like in some movies like the acting's bad, but it's a real movie, so it's like it's not I don't know. I don't see it as just a bunch of like people fumbling. I just see it as like an incredibly awkward character. But in Conference Call, I just saw high school kids being like, "I have a PhD" or some shit. So that was very.
How old was I
disgusting.
supposed to be in Conference Call, Keelan? How old was I supposed to be?
24?
24.
Yeah.
24.
Wait,
I
and
look
he
like a
is
13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But
He was 27.
so yeah, I guess the juicy bit, you wanted me to make fun of your guys' acting. So yeah, you guys sucked. But
I thought Will was pretty good.
I thought Will
was
was
pretty good.
I'm gonna be like,
I feel like
feel like I'm
Will
out of, like,
changing
Riverdale in
ages
that movie.
halfway through the film did not fucking help. That is
No.
if
Will's voice dropped 8 octaves.
yeah,
in the second
like
act.
it wasn't very nice to have your balls drop during production because and no one mentions it. No one's like, oh, you got it deep. You know, well, they can't fucking mention it because they're supposed to be like, 25 or something.
We're all 20, yeah.
Oh,
Will's
shit,
entire
going through
character
puberty
changed.
again.
Anyway,
I was just doing a voice in the first scene.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, like saying Conference Call isn't a good movie is kind of like it's like making fun of like a 4-year-old's like painting, like why would I like feel like it's I understand y'all were looking for juicy criticisms, but honestly I have no contempt for Conference Call. I just think it's adorable.
Thank you.
Hey,
And I mean that I mean that like like super nicely, especially since like when I look at your guys' like modern stuff, it's not cringy. It's just like it's mediocre at its worst and pretty good at its best. So like
I'll take that.
I'll take that.
So like
Yeah.
For our development, then that works.
yeah,
Pretty good is pretty good.
And that's just like a couple of years, right? Like I'm pretty sure like as you progress and learn more and take more hits and things like that and evaluate yourselves,
I do have a question.
it will get better.
Oh.
Yeah, what's up?
Conference call. You might know, we filmed the first like third of it in grade 10, and then the last 10,000 hours of it in grade 11.
On our Richard Linklater shit.
Which-
filmed it over
Yeah.
25 years.
Which half is more tolerable?
I actually am curious to hear this.
So the half that's in grade 10 or the half that's in grade 12? Or
Yeah,
grade 11.
grade 11,
sorry.
yeah. Because I think the second half is more boring, and we shifted Ben to be the main character, even when
Which was
he
such a bad
more
decision.
interesting.
I think
Yeah.
honestly I do think when you guys are a little older it's better.
Okay.
Okay,
I
that's fair.
think principally just on the fact that like it's a lot, your age is a lot less distracting in those instances.
That's a good point.
And I don't remember much of the beginning, but I do remember the film got better as it went. Like the film did not start well at all. I think it was weird to watch.
Yeah.
But as it went on, I was like, oh, I kind of understand the plot, So I guess when you guys are older, it got better.
Hey, I'll take that.
Beautiful.
In the
I'll take
opening
that.
number, I added in scuff sound effects.
Yeah.
In a very like
It's a musical, right?
quiet part. Yeah. And there's no bass line, so you can just hear everything. And it's just like
Yeah.
and
The footsteps are so loud.
It's so loud.
In the opening number. You just
We
hear
didn't
the
know how to
piano in the
do sound
background,
in that movie.
and then you just hear clomp, 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 clomp.
yeah.
I understand that. When I watch Conference Call, I just sort of imagine, it's some 16-year-old who got really excited after watching La La Land and was like, you know what? Yeah.
It's my turn.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly
yeah.
what happened.
No, I
Yeah.
really, it's really cute to watch though, because it's so inspired. I actually really enjoy watching like people's really early amateur work, because it kind of just shows like a more unfiltered side of them, like a bigger like what's it called, like a childlike sort of wonder for the medium rather than actually doing a good job at it. You know what I mean? And it's that's what I find interesting about these amateur works. I'm really happy you kept these things up.
Yeah.
Because I think
We're glad to.
because I think like letting these things be shown is quite adorable. I know like it's really difficult for me to show my like older things. So I actually do give props to like your pride in the things that you have done, I find it
Well,
I find it very
Well, thank
difficult to be proud of anything I do, even if it's like right now. So I admire that, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think like Keelan would know every time like I start.
I've seen all his old stuff.
After editing a short, like I always tell you, like this is garbage and my movie sucks.
It's true.
Like I fucking hate everything I do. But then you're like, oh, it's pretty good, and it's so hard for me to like actually work on my things when I'm too busy like nitpicking myself.
Yeah, I really liked Involuntary Solitude. I really dug it.
It was.
Me too.
It's okay, I think.
I think it's great.
I agree with you, Alex.
I think it's just. I think. I enjoyed making it, and I think it served its purpose, and
It did the job.
yeah, it's just such a. It's very okay. I barely would call it a film though, because it's so short. It's more like
Yeah.
It's more like
The study.
yeah.
A little bite.
It's like
a bite of film.
It's like an
Yeah.
unwelcome relapsed memory. You know, it's like
the
just comes
the
back.
petite interlude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I liked the way it was shot, and yeah, because it was so short, it felt like you couldn't really get anything out of it at the pace that it was going, which, like, not to say a slow pace is a bad thing, but it just didn't 100% mesh for me. But I still like the look of 16mm film.
Of course. Who doesn't?
That one guy who reviewed
I was
City
gonna
Story
say-
didn't.
Tell him about this. So Keelan's new movie City Story just came out. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday, right?
Yesterday.
If you haven't watched it, go check it out on Gemini Studios. It's got some mixed reviews on Letterboxd.
I want to see this actually. I haven't looked. I'm gonna hold on. Let me look.
Keelan can pull it up and read this guy's review.
Wait,
Because
wait,
clearly
wait.
this
Hold on.
guy
bring it up.
doesn't know what 16mm film is apparently.
Wait, was he like, oh, it's in fucking black and white, and
Yep.
the frame is
Yeah.
too
Here,
small?
I'll read it to you.
Ah!
He said,
Okay.
pretty
To be
thin,
fair-
the black and white cinematography and 4:3 aspect ratio feel like cinematic crutches employed by a director who doesn't know how else to visually convey the concept of austerity.
Like, wow.
Which is
Shut the fuck up.
all right. I don't know. I
pretty-
see
that's-
the point he's trying to make.
But does he not get that it was shot on 16?
I
that's
could
why-
see someone watching 12s and then thinking, well, this
that
is...
I understand.
like-
That I understand. Because we didn't shoot it on a film.
But I guess what he could
Wait,
be trying
you
to say
didn't?
is that like the medium,
No, we didn't.
the medium of it, even if it was intentional or not, like whether it was done in post or in pre, the medium doesn't mesh with the story and overpowers the story, which I could understand. But
Okay.
from the sound of the review, it doesn't sound like he knew that it was shot on 16. So I responded and I said, "Hey, director here, the film was actually shot on 16mm film with a native aspect ratio of 4:3. Point taken, though. I appreciate the crit, but just thought you should know it wasn't a post production choice,
Well,
just
there
so
you
I could
go.
clear that."
I don't know. I thought the film added to it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the film look added to the overall. The
You know what?
overall
I'm proud of that movie.
feel.
I'm proud of it. Whatever.
I really liked City Story, Keelan. I'm
Thank
gonna be
you.
the first to tell you, in
Thank
my
you.
unbiased opinion, I actually really enjoyed it.
Thank
you know
I
what? You
appreciate
know what,
that.
Keelan Ellis?
Yes.
City Story. It's actually pretty. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. You do a good job in it. You and
Oh
Lena.
yeah, right. I'm in it. I keep.
Oh yeah, Alex.
You want to tell any
I like
fun
your little
stories
hand
about on
motion.
set?
I literally.
Yeah, the hand motion.
Oh yeah. I
the
I do-
hand
You're
motion
like-
is
you're
so.
like,
Tell the
oh, come on,
story.
you got it. You got
I-
it. Kiss
Wait,
me.
Keelan-
Keelan,
Keelan-
before you tell the story, let me preface by saying I did tell you ahead of time. You didn't hear or you forgot.
Yeah. Okay.
But continue.
Yeah. Basically, well, the day started with they wanted Keelan wanted me. Keelan wanted me to have my car and drive over and whatever and pick people up, so we could, because part of the film requires a car and I had a car, whatever. So I start driving and the first thing I do is I start like sliding on the snow and ice, because I'm a really great driver.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
and that was happening for a while, and I almost crashed a couple times, and then we pick up
Oh,
Lena,
dear.
and Keelan is like, oh, by the way, so you're gonna have an on-screen kiss, and I guess he told me before, and I just forgot.
Yeah.
But
Because he was in the pitch. Because I had to do the pitch
I-
in our film class, and I was like, so the boy picks her up, and then they have a kiss at the end, and you were sitting next to me.
I don't.
through this, and so I assumed
think
that you watched the pitch.
I definitely, probably, most likely was paying attention, but there is a very good chance that I forgot. I mean, like, you just told me, like, you're gonna have an on-screen kiss, and I was a little flustered because I wasn't expecting it, but I guess, but then, like, but immediately came back to my, like, oh, fuck, he did say it, like, why am I, but that kind of added to it in the end, though, because I think the whole point was, like, I was supposed to be a little bit of a, you know, like, an awkward kind of thing, right? Like, a little bit, so I thought that kind of, like, that translated pretty well to the screen.
Because then after I told you guys that you'd have to do a kiss, because Lena also knew because I texted her about it.
Yeah.
And so the moment that you were kind of like, okay, and I said, okay, we're gonna shoot it right now, because I liked the idea that you were like kind of unprepared.
No, I was like, I wasn't scared or anything. I was just like, I didn't expect it, so it very much, because like I'm not an actor, right? I don't you know, do this stuff. So it just kind of like, ugh, kid, you know, it gave me a shock for like 3 seconds before I just had to do it, and you know, it was, I again though, it added to your movie though.
What else should we talk about?
Yeah, we're 27 minutes in. What's good radio? What's going on?
What do the
know,
kids
what were we
want to
talking
hear?
about before?
Alex,
kids
you're
wanna
part of our 9 listeners. What would you want to hear?
Are you a regular listener of This Podcast Should Be Played Loud?
I'm an occasional listener.
You know what? I'll take that. There's that doesn't happen very often.
The way I do podcasts, right, is I don't watch I listen to a few podcasts, right, but I never like watch every episode just because I can't be bothered, and they keep coming so much, you know. Like the Joe Rogan Experience has fucking 3 hours every 2 days, and I just want to hear comedians talk to each other, you know.
Exactly.
And then
there's
he's
also
bringing,
like 300 episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience. It's ridiculous.
That's like 3,000. He's bringing like these fucking like psychics and politicians, and I'm like, I just want to hear him talk about getting drunk with Bill Burr. I don't give a fuck about.
That's the best.
I don't give a fuck about the future and prosperity of humanity. Just, and you know, and this podcast, I guess I once in a while it's on my feed and I click it and I listen to it, and it's a fun time. And other times I don't see the podcast, and then a new episode comes out and I miss it. So that's my viewing pattern.
Fair enough.
I'm not a regular
episodes
listener
are
of This
worth
Podcast
listening
Should Be
to.
Played Loud.
No,
No, I
you are
agree.
a regular host of the podcast.
That is correct. I am a regular host. However, I actually am guilty of only listening to the very beginning of the podcast right until the theme song starts playing, just because I like to hear our intro. I don't know why. But last time, thankfully, I listened to it because Will didn't trim the start of the recording.
Yeah.
So it was just like Will left the room and there was like dead silence for a little bit. And it was just like awkward, like coughing for the beginning before we started.
And me being like,
And I
are
was
we going to start soon? Where the
I was
fuck
like-
is Will?
I was like, what is going on? Why is this here?
For like a good 45 seconds or
Yeah.
so.
It was,
Yeah,
it
no, it
was
was
so
like
weird.
2 minutes.
It was like 2 minutes, yeah.
Because
I was
we
like, how
didn't,
long does this go on for?
We didn't snap.
And then we started
So-
talking about Hercules Mulligan,
Yeah.
because that's just what we do.
Yeah. Have you seen Hamilton yet, Alex?
Oh, yeah.
I refuse.
You're one of those.
All right.
Yeah.
No. Fuck. Okay. Disney Plus. Disney. Okay. I am mad at Disney.
Please explain your grievances with Disney.
Listen, when Disney Plus was first coming out, I knew what was happening. I knew that Disney and its entertainment monopoly over everything was just swarming over, and they wanted to take on streaming. And I knew they got The Simpsons, they got the Disney movies, and I'm like, these motherfuckers, come on, we gotta, no way a bunch of dumbass bozos is gonna subscribe to this shit when they understand the entertainment monopoly that's contributing to the current political system, and yet they fucking did it. Everyone got fucking Disney Plus. It became a big fucking trending thing, and I'm like, well, you know what, fuck my ass. And then they got Hamilton, they got their hands on Broadway. God damn it, Broadway's been Disneyed too, you know?
Damn.
They censored Hamilton.
They
censored
Hamilton.
it?
Doesn't exist.
Two
in the real world.
Democratic
No,
Republicans.
I very much dislike anything that is sort of like within the entertainment industry. I dislike supporting anything that's overtly commercial and very monopolized, and very much Disney seems interested in that. So as just sort of like, and I feel very strongly about this. It's like the most buck teeth thing I have, like the most conspiracy theory attitude I have. I'm just shouting in the streets, "Fuck Disney Plus!" But
Alex, if you want, I can legally purchase it online and put it on a drive or something for you. Whatever you want, I can do that if you want to see it.
As we do.
I just very strongly dislike supporting that, and also and disregarding the Disney shit. Considering Hamilton itself, I guess just the hype really annoyed me. So whenever I imagine Hamilton, I just imagine a bunch of like annoying assholes walking down hallways singing the fucking songs and
That's
being
our high
like,
school.
look at us,
That's our fucking high
we're
school.
singing songs and we're forcing all of you to listen to it while you're doing your own thing. Fucking theater nerds. I mean,
That's me. Hey,
God
I
damn.
will say, before I listened to Hamilton, before I sort of got into it, I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest Hamilton fan or anything, but I am the podcast's resident Hamilton expert. Only because
Mulligan fan club.
I've seen it. And I will say, before I started listening to it, before I sort of knew about it and what it was, and just really, I didn't actually understand the hype fully until I listened to it. It annoyed me so much when all my friends kept telling me, "Ben, you gotta listen to Hamilton. You gotta listen to Hamilton. If you want to be like a drama kid, you gotta listen to Hamilton." And I'm like, buddy, you know how pretentious you sound right now. Like, you know how it irked me so much that they were just gatekeeping Hamilton. And then it blew up, and everyone was listening to it. So I was like, yeah, might as well. And I actually really enjoyed it. And I will say that it is as good as people say it is. I will say that the theater community does tend to overhype it a little bit. However, for what it is an impressive, like, we've called it God tier on this podcast in terms of the live feat that it is. Will didn't. Keelan did.
Yeah, I'll admit it. Like, as
I
someone
think
who
it's-
did theater for a long time, like, fucking hell, that's impressive.
It's
It was
insane.
really good. I just don't want to
Yeah.
have any involvement with it past
And
this
I
point.
understand
Yeah.
why. Because the hype
I-
around it is incredibly annoying.
Oh yeah, it's
I-
very annoying.
I apologize
well,
for partially contributing to that.
Here's the thing. This is not just me yelling at a cloud. I was part of a theater thing in high school.
I thought you
was-
weren't an actor, Alex F.
Oh my god.
and I was
Ben, have you seen City Story?
oh my god. Anyway,
The man himself.
so like I'm not like a person who acts regularly. I just do it sometimes. But I was in theater, right? And I very much the reason why I have why I despise anything related to theater is just because I was in that world for a very long time. Here's the thing. I want to preface that I really like musicals, and I really like watching them, and I like sitting in the stage and having all the
Sitting in the
dancers.
stage.
Not sitting, sorry, sitting by the stage, and all the people are like, woo, singing, dancing, whatever, you know, and it's a fun time. They tell a cool story. I really like it. If I watched Hamilton live, I would probably really enjoy it. It's just that I guess maybe I'm just a pretentious douchebag where I just really don't like anything that its principal, like,
He's a dadaist.
motivation is, here's a popular product that has a lot of demand. So we're gonna wrap it up in a nice, conveniently, like, comedy special sort of like shot way and deliver it to you so you can watch it. And I don't want to watch it that way. I think that's gonna ruin the experience because it's a live show, you know. So I just think it's a cheap way to. I just think it's like a cheap jab, you know. And
Spoiler alert, you're partially right.
Yeah, the filmmaking is the worst part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I assume, right? I mean, I feel like it would just be better just to make a film adaptation, you know.
Yeah.
And
I think we talked about this last week.
Disney could do that, right? Because Disney's Disney, right?
But they shouldn't.
But they probably shouldn't.
They
I
really
think Hamilton should stay on Broadway because that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's amazing that it became accessible to so many people. But it was done in a way that it wasn't I
Well,
don't know.
yeah.
understand. I'm just saying
It's-
a movie adaptation would be better than a comedy special.
It's
I
not
agree.
Universal
I do agree.
healthcare.
What?
What?
It's Hamilton
Universal
isn't.
healthcare.
No, like people don't need to see Hamilton. Like
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
just
but a
wait.
lot of people wanted to, and the demand was obviously there. And I like, not to be that guy who's, because I've said it so many times, but I did see it live, and it
With
is
the original
as,
Broadway cast.
whoa.
sorry.
With the original Broadway cast.
No, I didn't see the original
Oh, no.
cast. I
Oh, I thought
saw
you did.
I saw Dear Evan Hansen original cast.
My bad.
But it is as good as people say it is. It is phenomenal. Like it's
I believe
amazing.
you. I believe you.
And the film version was the worst part. So I agree with you that it should be. I think if they had made it just a film adaptation instead of shooting it, like as you say, a comedy special, then I think it would have been better. And I think we would agree with that generally.
I think musicals generally put on film are very it's very weird because like a lot of the magic of being on stage is lost. Like Cabaret, which is my favorite musical of all time. I've seen it live
Classic.
twice. I love it. It's my favorite. I love it. And the movie adaptation is just such balls, you know. it's such a I mean, it's not a bad movie, I guess. It's fine, but it completely like destroys a lot of the magic of the orial, right? Plus, it
Wasn't that, like,
changes.
nominated for Best Picture?
No, it was Moulin Rouge.
Whatever. Whatever. They nominate anything.
That's fair. we were talking about this today. They nominated Black Panther 2 years ago.
Yeah, like some Marvel film. Or listen, Uncut Gems was at least
Robbed.
top
Yeah.
3 movies of 2019. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
say. Like
I
I
agree.
think maybe not number 1. Like I feel like there are other like technically masterful films, but like Uncut Gems just had such a impact on its audience. Like it wasn't like a
Yeah.
big movie, but it became a big thing just because.
Marriage
it was
Story
such a-
should have won Best Picture.
It's all
Or
the
Portrait of
losers
Lady
who
on Fire.
voted for Ford versus Ferrari and got
I-
that into Best Picture. I love Ford versus Ferrari, but it's not one of the best pictures of the year.
No.
you know.
No.
Exactly.
I have not seen that movie. Actually, you know what? I wanna talk to you guys about something. There actually is
Okay.
something
Go
I've
ahead,
been
Alex.
thinking about. Let's talk about film nerd. What do you guys think about my attitude? Because on this certain thing, because I understand like film bros, which you guys basically are the quintessential film bros.
I agree.
You know what?
No.
I'm offended, but you're probably not wrong.
I think,
you guys.
I think we try not to. I don't know. There's different ranges of them. I
There's
think
different
the
ranges
I'm
of
saying
film
you're
bros
not
is
you're not like
Christopher
you're not
Nolan.
like an Interstellar, Inception film bro, but you
I don't
guys
think
are
Fight
definitely.
Club's the greatest movie ever.
Yeah,
I
you're not
think you-
that,
Yeah.
but
I think
there's
the
like a
path is,
range.
Christopher Nolan, and then you go to like, oh my God, A24 is so great.
That's
and I
me
think
right
we're like
now.
a little bit beyond that.
A little bit beyond-
but
yeah, I would
we're-
say a little
But
bit
we're
beyond that.
still like we're not watching.
You guys are
Kinophile.
radicalized A24 people, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Okay.
own
Exactly.
A24 merch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
exactly. So I'm
Will
just
doesn't.
I'm just
Will does.
I don't know.
anyway. So I
I'm out of
imagine
this.
like I stalk your guys' letterboxes and stuff, and I you guys watch a fuck ton of movies, and you watch like I feel like almost everything that's relevant or significant, right? And I'm very much different because I watch movies not because I want to like I don't want to try to keep up to date or anything like that. I just watch whatever I want. So there are some movies which have a lot of hype, and maybe they're really good, but I have zero interest in watching them ever, for very stupid reasons. But like, for example, like what Portrait of a Lady on Fire. You know, I don't
Yeah.
want to. It has like 2 people, right? Like there's 2 people in the cast, right?
It's actually 3 people.
Sorry, there's
Yeah.
3 people in the cast. Like, I don't want to watch, like, 3 people speak French for 2 hours on an island or some shit. Like, you know, that doesn't sound very appealing to me, you know?
I
Right.
guess.
Or,
Fair.
or, you know, it just sounds boring, you know? Or I don't know. So, do you guys think I'm... Do you guys think I'm being a basic human being, or should I expand my palette, or should I just watch more Adam Sandler comedies and call it Kino?
I think Adam Sandler comedies are definitely
Kino.
But
Yeah.
I mean, at some point it doesn't matter, and like,
Yeah.
Like who
Yeah.
like if it makes you
I think
happy,
at
then
any
who
I
cares?
think at any point it
Yeah,
doesn't
it doesn't
matter.
matter. It
It
just
just
think
doesn't
the
matter.
thing-
Watch what
like-
you want to watch, bro.
Especially if
when-
you don't care about like award season and stuff like that. Like I feel like the only
Exactly.
reason I feel a need to keep up to date with those kind of films and watch that stuff is partially just because I really enjoy the whole hype around award season and watching
I
like
love
all
the
the
Oscars.
award shows. Yeah, they're just
Even
fun.
though they,
I know
even though they
mean
disappoint
nothing
me, exactly. Even though they disappoint me literally every year.
because the best film of the
Hon-
year never wins it.
Exactly. Honestly,
Yeah.
last year,
Except 2019.
What won Best Picture last year?
Parasite.
Oh, Parasite. Yeah, the movie we all forgot about.
Yeah, well, I've never heard of Parasite. What are you talking
Somehow forgets about Parasite just because
Yeah.
we're so annoyed with it.
about? I'm tired of that movie.
I
but
think
like,
Keelan, you
go ahead, Will.
say.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Part of it, I think, is that at least Keelan and I spent a lot of time every year when the TIFF schedule comes out, like lording over every single thing that's on there, and we get familiar with everything. And a lot of those fall movies come out of that. So
Yeah.
whether we see it or not, we're familiar with it. And then if we
Yeah.
hear like, oh, Portrait of a Lady on Fire getting really good reviews, then I already have some working knowledge of that, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had seen that. I guess I have to wait
Right.
2 months, and then I have it in my brain already.
Yeah, because like we're into festival season and stuff like that.
Oh my God, are we ever?
See,
Well,
Yeah.
you guys more
that's-
so than me. I only got into it. I got into it more recently than you did, just because of
Yeah.
you. Well, I got into movies because of you, straight up. Like,
See, that's the contrast, because award seasons and things like that, I just don't give a shit about,
Yeah,
like, at all.
Fair.
I think I don't care about seeing awards, who wins awards, winning awards, anything. I don't care. I don't know. It just because like I don't know. I feel like a lot of the movies I enjoy, like for example, Billy Madison, right? Which is
fun fact, shot at our high school.
which is a wonderful,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is wonderful kino. It's one of the stupidest films ever made, but it's one of those things that like always like makes me smile, and the way I see that's what a good movie is, right?
Sure.
But of course, but like everyone says it's just a stupid movie, or not. Obviously, Uncut Gems is the modern example again with Adam Sandler. But then there's a lot of like movies, or like smaller movies or local movies, for like Canadian ones, that I really enjoy, right? But they almost receive like no ovation outside of the country,
Yeah.
and even though I think the films here are just as good, and then I imagine like other international films, and really I find that like when it comes to a lot of the awards festivals, so the Oscars and Cannes, right, and what's the one in Salt Lake City again?
Sundance.
Telluride.
Yeah.
Oh, Sundance.
Yeah, that one. They very much sort of, they don't like snub anything, because there's so many movies. They have to select things. I'm not saying they're like excluding things, but I'm saying that like there's a lot of there's just a lot of like underdogs that are not, I won't say appreciated. They're just not even noticed to begin with, and it doesn't feel like there's that much of an effort. People are just always regurgitating sort of the Hollywood films or the French dramas or the
Well, I think part of that is because you can either go to a film festival as like one of us, or just going to see stuff, or you can go as an exhibitor or distributor, where you're actually trying to find like small stuff to pick up and then maybe
Yeah.
do something with. So when we go there, there's not much like, oh God, I really want to see this like Canadian indie film, and maybe there should be,
because
that's-
Joker's playing at the same time,
Yeah.
Exactly.
3 months ahead of its release.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go see Joker almost every time, unfortunately.
I just feel very like annoyed with a lot of the with a lot of the status quo. I very much, I think it's like there's very few big players. It's like any other business, like in America, right? There used to be many radio companies, and then they turned into the big three, right? And it's the same thing with like movies, right? So there's Hollywood, there's like France, there's like the Asian market, which is like China and India, and then and then really outside of that, everything else doesn't get much, and that really annoys me because I think I think a lot of films and I think diversity in films is what makes it really great, and I feel like with
Agreed.
Hollywood it's just the same thing over and over. Like the reason why I didn't watch Ford versus Ferrari is because I was like, I've probably seen this movie once or twice or 100 times before, just in like a different makeup set.
But did you know that Ford versus Ferrari was the first motorsports film to be nominated for Best Picture?
Cool, whatever. Like it's
The dad movie of 2019.
I very much enjoy, like, when I watch a movie, my favorite thing is to sort of see something that's unexpected, even if it's not good, right? Like, I just sort of enjoy seeing strange, weird things, right? And I feel like there's so much care put into things with very heavily commercialized art, where they don't really want to provoke anything interesting, or if they want to provoke something, they'll act like it's very groundbreaking when it really isn't. Like Joker, like, was acting like it was extremely profound, speaking about like mental health issues, but really it was just a very cookie cutter, inoffensive statement, to be quite honest, masked by some like gritty R-rated comic book film. And I find Joker, I'm so cynical towards a film like Joker because it's just so uninspired, and that's how I feel about, I guess with award seasons. I just feel like I don't give a shit about awards because I feel like it congratulates uninspired works. So
I agree with everything you're saying. I think that TIFF is slightly more diverse in terms of what it picks up than a lot of festivals.
I love TIFF, actually. I think TIFF is one of the better ones, and I think Venice
Cannes
is one
is
of the better ones.
okay as well. Like Cannes definitely picks up a lot of stuff that people don't end up talking about throughout the rest of the year.
It's because Cannes has a little bit. Cannes has a more of a prestigious reputation, so I think you hear a lot. I think the hype around watching movies at Cannes is because, oh man, this got selected at Cannes. Like, holy, it's Cannes.
Yeah, I usually trust the taste of whoever picks at
exactly.
Cannes.
Yeah,
stuff that I've seen that's come out of Cannes, but they all tend to be smaller, independent foreign films that do really well there. So that's why I kind of appreciate that festival a little bit more. But yeah, Sundance leans a little bit more commercial, a little bit more Hollywood. Same thing with Telluride, stuff like that. Even Venice and stuff like that go that way a little bit more. But I like that TIFF has like a specific section for Canadian films. It has a specific section. Like, I like the way they break down. They have like shortcuts and wavelengths and stuff like that. So they have spaces for weird stuff that are like protected, so that they're not going to get phased out by adding more and more to special presentations and galas, because they have those sections. So there will still be stuff programmed for that, or there still will be 10 films programmed for Midnight Madness, and that's always fun.
Yeah, that stuff's always really great. I
like
really
that about
TIFF.
But I agree with you about the Oscars. They never evaluate really the entire field. They evaluate what's within their field of view. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But it's a fun one to watch.
It's fun. I see. It would be torturous to watch it alone, but I think it's fun to watch it and just like go mad during it.
We get together every year and watch it. It's the best time. Like, it's so much fun.
It's not like what they pick is never correct. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. And it's just like this. It's just this disappointment festival. And when you and by that point, it's been so long into award season
payoff.
that you're just like, when something wins, it's not like it's won. It's just like, did I get it right or wrong in my view?
Yeah. I know a lot of people have fun with their sort of like predictions. It's really it's really fucked up that like your award show is so cookie cutter that people make predictions and get it right.
Yeah.
You fucking
Will,
dumbass.
how many did you get wrong last year? Like 3?
No, I actually didn't do that well. I tied with Ben, but I won.
We got 18 out of 23. I remember it.
I won the tiebreaker.
That's still crazy good for an award show that should be a 1 in 5 chance to a 1 in 10 chance on each one.
That's really good. That's really good.
Like, that's insane.
I was pretty happy with our performance.
My highest accomplishment was that I guessed sound mixing and sound editing both correctly, and they were 2 different movies.
Yeah, we both. That was so. Will, the thing I'm most mad about that Oscar pool is literally the entire time leading up to it, I had predicted Bong Joon-ho would win Best Director, and then maybe 15 minutes before our picks lock in. I'm like, no, he's not going to win. It's going to be Sam Mendes. So I changed my pick maybe 15 minutes before they're like, yeah, we can't change picks anymore. And Bong Joon-ho wins Best Director.
So you end up tying with Will.
So
we
I end
go
up
to our
tying with
tiebreaker.
Will. We go to a tiebreaker, and Will wins.
Because the tiebreaker was guess the length of the show. And Will got it to the minute.
It was insane. Insanity.
God,
But here's something else. Everybody remembers when Green Book won Best Picture, and that created months of horrible waves of like the Academy sucks and this is horrible and what's our world come to. But now Parasite won Best Picture, and everyone was very happy for like a week, and now it's just like it might as well not have happened.
It's weird.
I think the Oscars relate to the Parasite hype because Parasite was already like winning a lot of awards, and it already had. Everyone already knew about Parasite before. It was like a big hype train, right? So the Oscars like giving it Best Picture. It wasn't really like doing much. I don't think it did Parasite that much good. I think Parasite already like had its peak of success. And then the Oscars were like, I want to join in too, and then they did it, and it's like
I feel like I would almost like Parasite more if it hadn't won Best Picture, because then it'd be like, oh, that great movie that was like underappreciated. Oh man, what a great movie! But now it's just like, yeah, I get it. You seen like everyone's like South Korean cinema. Have you seen Parasite? How'd you know? Everyone knows.
Hey,
everyone.
hey,
you're
but
all the
don't-
same.
Have you seen Snowpiercer?
Hey guys, hey,
You heard of
hey,
Snowpiercer?
Don't devalue Parasite though. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, I
it's a
love
great
Parasite.
movie.
I
but I
fucking
fucking
love
hate the
Parasite.
fans.
Yeah.
I hate the fans.
I just think the Academy should stick to being boring, so everyone can be angry at them all the time.
Yeah, that's what they're
I
good
love
for.
when people are angry.
All they're good for is making mistakes, so everyone can get pissed off
Can-
and go
can
back
they-
the next year to
can
see
they
if they
just-
make
Would've
more
been-
mistakes.
Can
And
they
then
just
last
become
year
a
they just don't
satire
make any
themselves?
mistakes. I'm like, okay, go ahead, go off, Academy.
Fine.
Choose the best movie of the year. Fine, okay.
Crash.
Fucking
Imagine
Joaquin.
how legendary
Fucking
it would have been if
Joaquin.
Ford versus Ferrari would won Best Picture. Imagine the
would've
riots
been
in the
hilarious.
streets that would have happened. Like,
Would've
That would have been
insane.
so good.
Imagine if Black Panther won Best Picture.
It would have been like
Bro.
the Vancouver riots, dude. Like
Exactly.
just people
Yeah, holy
destroying
shit.
shit
Hell
for
or
no
High Water
reason.
should have won Best Picture so we could riot.
yeah,
Joker!
Liars Club. should've won
Joker!
Best Picture.
Take out all the
Joker had won
voting. It
Best
should just
Picture.
be
That
one
would have
guy.
just been annoying.
It should just be one guy who chooses what wins Best Picture. And if he has a bad day, then he chooses Hell or High Water.
It should be Will Gotlib.
It should be Will Gotlib. I agree.
Great idea. I'm
Yeah.
I'm available.
Academy,
I-
please hire me.
I can't believe they didn't nominate Nathan Daniel Phillips for his performance.
I'm angry
Nathan
too.
Daniel
Bruh.
Phillips.
Yeah.
We even said for your consideration, man.
Yeah.
We did.
Like, it happens. It
Yeah.
happens.
You
We
know
should have
what?
Tommy Wiseau'd Nathan Daniel Phillips. See what happens.
Like
You know-
paid an innumerable amount of money to get it into a theater for
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Precisely.
For best foreign picture, it can't be in English, which is interesting
Yeah,
to
really?
me. Do you know
Oh,
that?
I actually didn't know that.
So like
No,
a
like- no,
British
like-
film can't.
Yeah, like
Win?
for
What?
all
Okay.
Canadian submissions to best foreign picture can't be in English. It's why it's only
Yeah.
Quebec films that get submitted. Or like
I think
Britain,
that's stupid.
Britain literally can't
think
do
that's
it
dumb.
unless they do their movie in Welsh or some shit.
Unless they do it in British.
In the British language.
I mean,
Here's my-
like basically, Train Spotting is a different
Illinois.
language. Like,
Yeah.
what do you? Yeah.
Here's
I
my
haven't seen
question. Now that I'm thinking about that, the Favorite, great movie from 2018. How foreign versus how just mainstream North American was it? Like, what's
Isn't
the
it-
balance there?
It's now foreign language. Best film in a foreign language or whatever. They changed
No,
the
now it's
title.
Best International Feature.
Yeah.
It used to be Best Foreign Language Film.
I don't know. I always found that weird because like isn't like a lot of countries speak like a lot of
Yeah.
countries speak English. It's not it's
A lot.
like it's like
Yeah.
I could name at least 3, you know? Like Britain, America,
I see. If
Australia,
South
Ireland,
Africa. South
New
Africa, the
Zealand.
prominent languages are English and French. Like, if you go
South
there and you
Africa?
make a movie, I mean,
Wait, did you just say the
Yeah.
prominent languages of South Africa are English and French?
yeah. they
Oh,
are.
you are very fucking wrong. Jesus Christ.
Afrikaans.
It's English,
Okay,
it's
please-
English,
please educate me.
Afrikaans, Xhosa, or Xhosa, I don't know how to fucking say it. It's like the click thing. And then like 15 other like African languages that are not
Please excuse me. That was very inaccurate
So-
and bold of me.
bold
for
of
your
you. I don't
correction.
know.
Hashtag Ben Jeffries
Okay,
so white.
and
I know. I'm sorry.
I think in India they speak a lot of English, and actually in India a lot of films are in English, are they not?
A lot of them are dubbed into
Yeah,
English,
yeah.
I think.
Bollywood. A lot of Bollywood films are, I think, in English. Wait, no, that's completely not true. No, maybe it is true. I have no idea. I withdraw my stake in this.
I'm scared. Yeah, I'm scared to say anything now.
Yeah,
I've seen.
Alex knows everything.
I know. What the fuck? I'm like, how did you know that? I mean, obviously, good for you for knowing that.
I
bad for, or maybe bad for me for not knowing that.
It's kind of a curse because I do a lot of reading, in my free time, just and I end up accumulating so much useless knowledge, so I end up correcting people a lot when it's not welcome. So
well, there you go.
So mostly
wrap it up for today. It's been an hour.
mostly about
Yeah.
mostly about like history and languages and stuff. I don't know. I just like suck at
And
all
Brazil.
and Brazil I
Mainly
guess.
Brazil. Yes. Man's obsessed with Brazil.
Yeah, I have a fascination with Brazil, man. It's such an interesting
It's
place.
a cool country. It is a cool country.
It's a sick country, bro.
I do plan on getting lost in there and coming back with
with coronavirus.
sure. Well, I mean Brazil's not doing so hot right now regarding that.
No.
Not great. No.
Yeah.
No,
Not fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's dedicate this episode to Brazil. Why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
To
Hey.
Brazil.
To Brazil. To Brazil.
We're gonna do
Keelan-
a weekly dedication.
We
Yep.
Keelan, why don't you
Good
take
job.
us out, my man? Or Will?
Brazil.
Sorry, Will. Why
Yes,
don't you take
Will.
us out, my
Yes. Thank you very much, Alex F, for joining us.
Yes.
On this,
Come back anytime,
great,
my friend.
Great journey. And thank you very much for listening to this episode of This Podcast Should Be Played Loud. I'm Will.
I'm Keelan.
I'm Ben.
and I'm Alex F.
Beautiful.
See you on the other side.
The music used at the end and beginning of this episode is Jazz by Brother Vink. You can find it by going to soundcloud.com/Taco Bell is rising/jazz.
Taco Bell. Okay.
Taco Bell, baby.
Taco Bell!